Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Bayou Time. And our cameras traveled to Nicholls State University last Friday night and for a gala and awards for excellence. And this was a great gala to be at. We had our camera crews there. They had all kind of people there. I mean, and I know we interviewed quite a bit of them. You'll see former Louisiana Senator Marty Chabert, who received the Harvey Peltier Award. Got interviews with Lester Beamer, received the James Lynn Powell Award. Former Lieutenant Governor Paul Hardy was there. He was a guest of Marty Chabert. We also had former Governor John Bell Edwards, who's been on HTV quite a bit of times over the years. He was also a guest of Marty Chabert. We had former Congressman Garrett Graves was there, and he received the Honorary Alumni Award. Of course, other awards that were given. You had the Amber Williams Award, Distinguished Young Alumni. We had the Rouse's Markets Corporate Mark of Honor, received by Allie Rouse Royster. Say that 3 times real fast. And she, of course, was there also, along with the Rouses. And just a lot of people that were there. We had Paige Pierce, the Alumni Director, Dr. Todd Keller, Master of Ceremonies, the Most Reverend Sam Jacobs, he was also there, Bishop Emeritus of the Houma Thibodeau Diocese. Chief Justice John Weimer of the Louisiana Supreme Court. We had Dr. Jay Clune, of course, Nicholls State University President. Amber Williams, Distinguished Young Alumni. We had mentioned her in the earlier segment. Of course, we mentioned Rouse's. And we also had our award winners. So without further ado, we had our crew there. We were breaking in a new crew. And of course, my degree is from Nicholls State University. So what a great place to break in a new crew. And also we had Dwayne Dupre there from HTV. And let's start off by seeing some of the ceremony.
I would like to first start off by saying thank you so much to Madison Pontiff, our Alumni Engagement Coordinator, and my right-hand woman in the office. I couldn't do a lot of things without her, so thank you, Madison. And also Mackenzie Prejean, who is known as a graphic designer on campus, but her talent and dedication stretches far beyond that title. Every single person on our Gala and Awards for Excellence Committee, Mrs. Allison Clune, Kristen Anselmi, Jeremy Becker, Rosie DeLong, Jean Donegan, Amanda Freeman, Laura Melton, Madison Pontiff, Mackenzie Prejean, Glenda Scott, and Vanessa Valdez. To all the volunteers and university employees like 1948 Catering who prepared the meal that we've had tonight and all the fun food stations. I hope you've enjoyed it. I love the salad martini glasses, so I hope you've all enjoyed them as much as I love them. And to the union staff who have worked so hard and are working hard tonight for us, thank you so much. To our generous sponsors and attendees, without you, this event would not be possible or successful. So you're impacting student scholarships, which is a vital to our mission here at Nicholls State University, preparing students for regional and global professions. You're giving students a chance who may not have had the opportunity to pursue higher education to attend universities like Nicholls, which is so special if you're from the Bayou community, and all of you know how special Nicholls is to our community. As a first-generation student myself and someone who attended Nicholls State University on student scholarships, this event really is near and dear to my heart. Last but certainly not least, all of the award recipients that we're honoring tonight. Your generosity, just giving back to this university, whether it's been advocating for us in the community at a state level, at a federal level, whether it's been coaching our student athletes, starting scholarship endowments, attending all of our programs. You've truly made a lasting impact on this university, on our students, and on our community. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn it over to our Chief Academic Officer and our Master of Ceremonies for tonight's festivities, Dr. Todd Keller.
They didn't tell me there would be a picture. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the second annual 2025 Gala Awards and Awards for Excellence. We're so happy to have you all here with us. First, a few housekeeping rules. As an educator of nursing for the past 16 years, I feel that it is imperative that I let you know we're all adults in this room. So if you feel the need to go to the restroom during this evening's festivities, you can exit through the back door down the steps to your left. You do not have to ask for permission. As well, I would like to let you know that the bars will stay open throughout the duration of tonight's ceremony, as well as the food tables. There is one thing that I can tell you. As a first-generation student from a lower socioeconomic family, by the grace of Pell Grants and the Montgomery GI Bill, I was able to attend Nicholls State University in the baccalaureate nursing program. But in addition to those two resources, I also benefited from the Lakewood Foundation Scholarship and the Lakewood Hospital Ladies Auxiliary Scholarship. And I can guarantee you that those scholarships helped me get through school. They paid for my tuition, they paid for my housing, they paid for my meal ticket, they paid for trips to Del Champs and Audubon Supermarket, because that's what we had back then. And they helped me become the person that I am today. So that is why tonight is so important, because scholarships for students who have need and who excel in the academic arena help to change the trajectory of young people's lives. So thank you so much for being here tonight and for supporting Nicholls State University and Nicholls State University's students and the scholarships that help to support those students. So, what I would like now is for you all to give yourselves a round of applause for being here tonight. Thank you so much. And to get this evening started in the correct way, at this time, I would like to invite to the stage the Most Reverend Sam Jacobs, Bishop Emeritus of the Houma-Thibodaux Diocese, and Louisiana Supreme Court Chief Justice John L. Weimer, to deliver the blessing of the gala and invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us bow our heads. Lord God, we do thank you and praise you for all the blessings you give us. We thank you for the gift of this university and its history and all the people that have been part of its history. We thank you for all the people who support it, provide scholarships, and do other grants to allow this university to continue to be excellent and to be able to serve our community. We ask you a special blessing upon the president, the staff, the faculty, all the students, so that in all that is done, may you give you glory and honor as we do tonight. We thank you for your blessings, ask you to bless us in all times. We ask this in your name, our Lord. Amen.
Good evening. I was going to ask you to stand, but you've already figured that out, so thank you very much. Out of respect for our nation and to stretch your legs also, please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Go Colonels.
Gentlemen, thank you. In January of 2018, there was a sea change at Nicholls State University. The landscape of the campus changed with the arrival of one Dr. J. Clune, the 6th president of Nicholls State University. Upon his arrival, Dr. Clune and Mrs. Allison Clune began to look at the campus and assess the campus and ask some very important questions. What can we do to support this campus? What can we do to improve this campus? What can we do to make this campus, Nicholls State University, better? One of those examples is right in front of us. For those who are familiar with Nicholls from past years, you may remember the dull yellow color of the walls of this ballroom of Nicholls State University. Today, the ballroom looks like something you might find in an expensive hotel. And for that, we thank Mrs. Allison Clune and her vision. You may also notice that there is still a lot of green space on the Nicholls State University campus. And my goodness, we want to preserve that to keep the Manning Passing Academy coming back to Nicholls State University and using our fields. But the reason that there's just a little bit less green space on the Nicholls State University campus is because of the projects that Dr. Clune has championed across this campus. So you may notice that as you enter the campus from Audubon Street, there is a new covered outdoor practice facility for Nicholls Athletics. You may also notice that there is a new athletics facility, bug vault building. You may also notice that there is a very large building going up on campus, the Louisiana Coastal Center. You may also notice that some buildings look just a little bit better than they once looked. Some have gotten a fresh coat of paint. Some have gotten upgraded with LED lighting. Others have been fashioned with new lighting fixtures and with new furniture. And that is all due to the 6th president of Nicholls State University, who has not only had a vision to improve the aesthetic vision of Nicholls State University, but also the academic vision of Nicholls State University. We are adding new degree programs at this university. We are improving degree programs at this university. And every single day, this gentleman works to make sure that Nicholls State University should be the choice for our students in this region and beyond this region. So please join me in welcoming Dr. J. Clune.
Thank you. I'm certainly honored, and at a great university, ideas bubble up. They don't come from a top-down approach, and I am blessed with an outstanding faculty and staff. I want to welcome you to the honors tonight, the Gala and Awards for Excellence. Tonight we gather to celebrate outstanding recipients and to build upon their legacy to support future generations of Nicholls students. I would first like to recognize a few elected officials and distinguished guests who are with us tonight. Please hold your applause until the end. We have quite a few. Marty said if he had 2 minutes, he'd come sit at someone else's table. If he had 5 minutes, he'd bring 40 people with him, and he brought 40 people with him. So brace yourself. It might not be a short Marty Chabert. tonight. I want to recognize a few people in the room. First, former Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards, thank you for all you've done. When you look at those buildings, thank you, Governor Edwards, for all you've done. Former Nicholls President and Nicholls alum, Dr. Donald Io. Former U.S. Congressman Garrett Graves, thank you for all you've done, Congressman, for this university. Our friend, Louisiana Commissioner of Higher Education, Dr. Kim Hunter-Reid. Louisiana Supreme Court Chief Justice and Nicholls alum, who I knew would work a joke into the Pledge of Allegiance, Justice John Weimer. Former Louisiana Lieutenant Governor Paul Hardy, Bessie District 3 member Sandy Holloway, Special Assistant to the Governor Doug Sheremy, Lafourche Parish Assessor Wendy Thibodeau, Lafourche School Board member and Nicholls alum Henry Lafont, and Terrebonne Parish Superintendent and Nicholls alum Bubba Ogeron, Thibodeau City Council member and Nicholls alum Monique Crochet, former mayor and alum Tommy S.J., Fletcher Technical Community College Chancellor Dr. Christine Strickland, Nicholls Foundation President Chris Riviere, Nicholls Alumni Federation President Greg Wood Jr., former state senator, a colonel who has served on every higher education board in the state of Louisiana, Marty Chabert, former state senator and Nicholls alum Norby Chabert, the Most Reverend Sam Jacobs, Bishop Emeritus of the Houma Thibodeau Diocese, Donald Ray Henry, Southern University System Board, welcome, and our close friends here from Pensacola, Florida, McGuire Martin and Nancy Fetterman. If you ever go to Pensacola and you go to McGuire's Irish Pub, that man right there created the McGuire's Irish Pub. And if you ever go to the Museum of Naval Aviation, Miss Nancy Fetterman and her husband, deceased, Admiral Jack Fetterman, had a lot to do with what that museum looks like. So all of you, welcome. Please let's give them a round of applause. This event is not just about recognition. It's about dedication and commitment that will fuel our university's success. Each individual and business honored tonight has contributed in very meaningful ways. Your efforts help shape Nicholls' future and strengthen our impact on the region and beyond. As we celebrate these achievements, let us take a moment to reflect on the journey that has brought us here tonight. This past year has certainly been filled with challenges, opportunities, and moments of inspiration. But if you compare this year to past years, we hardly noticed Hurricane Francine. I forgot all about it compared to what's been hitting us in the last few years. Through it all, our Nicholls family has remained resilient, innovative, and committed to excellence. That is what makes this university so unique. You may have heard me talk about the importance of scholarships at this institution. So many of our students in our region would not come here if it wasn't for scholarships. We historically have had to use our operating dollars to fund these scholarships. The operating dollars that pay salaries, keep the lights on, buy supplies, pay for travel. This means when we are forced to reduce our budget, our operating budget, we are forced to reduce scholarships that we give to students to recruit them and retain them at Nicholls State University. When scholarships come out of scholarship endowments, such as the Elodie Brown Chabert Scholarship for mothers attending Nicholls as full-time nursing majors, they are protected from budget fluctuations and so critical to our success. With the proceeds from tonight's gala, we are building the Nicholls Scholarship Fund to continue providing opportunities to the students of our region. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to our faculty, our staff for your dedication, to the Nicholls students for your ambition and your drive, and to our alumni and supporters for their continued belief in the mission of Nicholls State University. Here we educate the best and brightest, the willing and the able, the veterans, the intellectually disabled, the economically disadvantaged, and the environmentally threatened students of the bayous, the rivers, and the coast. Tonight is a celebration of all that we have accomplished together and a reminder of the bright future ahead. Congratulations to all of our award recipients. You are the heart of Nicholls, and your success inspires us all. So please enjoy the evening, and thank you for participating in this special event.
Take a short break. When we come back, more on the Nicholls Gala. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights. All right, like I said, we caught up with several of the award winners and the guests. Let's listen in as our crew chatted with all of them.
I'm very honored to receive this award. I had no idea I was getting an award, but I'm super excited about it. I'm very happy. I'm honored to be chosen. Well, Nicholls means everything to me. I came here to the United States in 1972 and enrolled at Nicholls in 1973, and I never left the campus. I've been here 53 years on this campus, and I met some beautiful people here, good friends, and it's a great place to live and work. And I came to Nicholls. I coached Nicholls twice. I was the head men's soccer coach in 1981 and a women's coach last year for half a year. So, I mean, the people here are great. I just love it at this campus. Really, really good people. It really, really helped me to be a better person and to learn the American way. Remember, I came from a British colony in the Caribbean, so everything was brand new to me. I had to suck it up and learn quickly, otherwise I'd be left out. So I think I did pretty good. I looked at the past honorees and I saw names like Benny Sinak and Dickie Barker and Cleveland Hill. I was like, Billy Tozen. I'm just shocked to see that I'm in the same list of those guys, but that's an honor to be chosen by your peers. I'm very honored, very, very blessed to be in that number. I've been on campus 52 years to be exact, and I'm involved in a lot of committees on Nicholls. I never left. I'm at every practice, every game, everything. So I had a good job. I can go and come as I wanted. I was very blessed to have that. So I was president of the Criminal Club. I'm Hall of Fame, all kind of stuff. I like Hall of Fame, and so I love it here. It's a home. It's right home to me. I live across the street on Bellmead Boulevard, so I'm right here every day on my golf cart. I want to thank everybody again for selecting me. I'm so happy that I was chosen, and I want to thank everybody.
It's an absolute honor. Nicholls, I had the opportunity to begin working with the university. This is amazing, but almost 30 years ago. And this is a real gem for the state of Louisiana. To have a university that's as agile as Nicholls is, and when I say that, I mean a university that's able to adapt to market trends, adapt to employment and academic needs. This place is absolutely amazing. Every time we talk to folks in industry about what type of employees they need, what type of skills they need, Nicholls just turns on a dime and begins offering those classes, those services. And so I can't say it enough. It's just an honor to be, I think, recognized or to be rewarded by a school like this, and having a long relationship with them. It's just a great night for us. I've just always had this strong affinity to Nicholls. Back to Dr. Io and many of the other faculty members from decades ago, working closely with them, watching them grow, watching them expand the different curriculum and career options that they provide. It really is just an amazing opportunity. It's absolute joy to have a school like this recognize us tonight, and just really excited. I mentioned a minute ago that you have a school that's been very agile, and so let's look at what's needed in South Louisiana. We have this economy that is so based upon the natural resources here, and so training folks for those job options, for those careers. Nicholls in their education programs, training the teachers to help train and educate the next generation, which is such an underappreciated, I think, occupation. But Nicholls makes it something that's important, makes it something that's urgent and prepares them again prepares the children for the next generation ultimately. And so this is just such a great institution, watching them work closely together with Fletcher and making sure that they have options for truly all students in the pipeline, watching them with their special needs program and making sure that every bit of the population has an opportunity here. It is an amazing institution that truly provides a service to the community. After working with the university for 30 years, walking around this room and seeing so many familiar faces over the several years that we've worked together, just a great night, great group of people, and it's an honor being here.
Absolutely. Anything around Nicholls, I'm always just in awe of, because without Nicholls, there would be no Shaw Bears. My father came here after he came back from Korea and got his education degree in coaching. And then I came here, and then my brother Narby came here. So we got 3 Shaw Bears that came to this university. 2 of them graduating, and 1 of us didn't. I had no idea, just couldn't even fathom it when they called me. I'm like, first time anybody give me an award for not graduating. I mean, no, I've been involved with Nicholls since 1973. First guy I met when I came here, his name was Lester Beamer. And we got to be best of friends, and I was so happy tonight that he's the honoree for Alumni of the Year. I couldn't have picked a better guy to be with. My dad used to be a scorekeeper for the basketball team. Since I was a kid, I used to come to all the basketball games and then the football games back when I was in school here from 73 to 76. And throughout the years, I stayed involved mostly with athletics. And then when I got into the Senate, I really got involved with getting money for Nicholls. Money for the nursing school. Dr. Ayo and I first chatted about the John Foss Culinary Institute and big weight facility, weight room that we have here, and that was back in '84. So, and then I served on the UL board, which governs Nicholls, McNeese, UL, all the colleges. Served on the LSU board, now I served on the Board of Regents. And when I was Board of Regents, I told all the people on the board, listen, you can't be parochial. We represent all the school. Well, we had our first retreat over here at Nicholls. So everybody on the board said, oh yeah, we're not gonna be parochial, but we coming to Nicholls first? I said, yes, indeed. It's just been a big part of my family, a big part of our life, all my life. Somebody nominated me. I didn't know anything about it. And they took my Bayou and they looked at what I've done throughout the years, and serving on 3 higher education boards, former state senator, getting a bunch of money for Nicholls, and just fought for higher education needs throughout the deal. Tonight we're going to have the Commissioner of Higher Education with us, Kim Hunter-Reid, and former Governor John Bell Edwards. When I went to Regents, the higher education budget was cut from $1.5 billion down to $750 million. And by the time John Bell's term ended and Commissioner Reid came in, we got it back to $1.5 million. Increased dual enrollment, increased Pell Grants, increased scholarships for kids. So I think that had a lot to do with me getting the award.
Take another short break. We'll be right back.
I'm so happy to be here. I was invited by Marty J. Shawbear, who I have known since he was a teenager, because his dad, former State Senator Leonard Shawbear, and I were very, very close friends and served in the legislature together. Leonard came as a member of the House. I went to the legislature as a member of the State Senate. And through my State Senate years, my Secretary of State years, my Secretary of Transportation, and my Lieutenant Governor years, Marty and his dad and the whole family are very, very close. That's why I'm so happy to be here, because I'm actually sitting at the family table tonight. When I walked in, they said, what's the number of the table? Number 13, my lucky number. So it's all good, and I'm seeing a lot of old friends that I hadn't seen in a long time, like Governor John Bell Edwards, Dickie Barker and his family, all good friends who I haven't seen in a good while. It's great to be here at Nicholls State. Whenever you have worked and made friends and enjoyed a group of people who have the same goals as you have, and you see the tremendous success that has developed as a result of all of those cooperative efforts. You're very proud, and he is very proud, I'm sure, to be honored here tonight. It's always a great reward if you can enjoy and appreciate recognition that one of your friends receive, that you know he is definitely entitled to that recognition. And Marty certainly is entitled to that recognition. Nicholls State University is kind of a newborn creature going years back for the state of Louisiana. And the popularity of Nicholls State is now very well respected statewide. I'm particularly aware of Nicholls State because when John Foltz was here and a good friend of mine, Marcel Bienvenu, was here having to do with the culinary training, and has a tremendous reputation for the nurses who come from Nicholls State, as well as the chefs who come from Nicholls State. Well, I'm just happy to be here, and especially with the Donald Bollinger Student Union, because the Bollingers, Boise and his dad and the whole family, have always been very, very good friends and loyal supporters of mine whenever I ran for public office. So it's great to be here in this atmosphere, and I'm sure the people who will be recognized do really appreciate the recognition.
Marty Chabert is a wonderful person, and he has served the state and Lafourche Parish and Terrebonne Parish and in this community for so many years in so many different capacities. And over the years, he's become a personal friend of mine. And Don and I love Marty, and we're happy to be here celebrating with him. But to have Nicholls State University recognize him, because I know how important Nicholls is. The whole time I was governor, most of those years he actually worked in the administration. He always paid particular interest in what the capital outlay budget looked like for Nicholls State University. He wanted to make sure that we were supporting all of higher education. And so to have him recognized here tonight is just a huge deal for him and for his family. And I'm just happy to be here to celebrate it with him and really with all the people who've shown up tonight. I have seen over the years how passionate he is about education, higher education in particular, and then within the realm of higher education about Nicholls State University, the role that it plays in Louisiana, but particularly down here in Lafourche Parish and Terrebonne Parish and in this region. This is so important for him. And way back when he was a senator in the 90s, of course, he followed in his daddy's footsteps. He did everything he could to support this university. And then he's continued to do it every year since. And so it's just been a wonderful blessing for the state to have Marty working so hard, and a blessing for this community. And so it feels really good for me to be able to join him tonight as we recognize him. Marty has served on higher education boards. And so in that capacity, in addition to being the state senator, he's amassed a lot of knowledge and experience that I would draw on. I would ask him what we could do better in terms of supporting higher education, how we could be more strategic. He served on the Board of Regents and so forth. I mean, he has so much experience, and I really trust his judgment on those things. And so I worked with him extensively in that capacity. And then outside of his role on the board, he actually served in the administration. And so he was in my cabinet, and I was able to visit with him there. So, Marty's just been a good friend, a good public servant. Just happy to be here with him tonight. I was driving across campus a while ago, and I saw the new construction that's going on here, things that we actually initiated while I was governor, and the role that Nicholls State plays, not just in this region, but within the fabric of higher education across the state. It's doing extremely well. I was just talking to President Clune. He and Allison have been great couple to lead Nicholls State University. And really, I'm just happy that universities are being supported, that kids have an opportunity to stay in Louisiana, get a great education, and then go on and lead very good, fruitful, productive lives. And this university does a tremendous job. And so to be able to be back and celebrate the distinguished alumni that are going to be recognized here tonight, and they're also raising money for the university. It's just wonderful.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. And welcome back to the Nicholls Gala Awards for Excellence program. I'm Martin Faust, and we now go back to some of the activities, some of the award winners, some of the comments bestowed their way.
So one of the reasons that tonight is so special is because we celebrate people who have had a profound impact on Nicholls State University. And for that, we reward them with awards. The first award for this evening is the Distinguished Young Alumni Award. The recipient of this year's award is Amber Christina Williams. Ms. Williams is an accomplished educator and leader, currently serving as the Director of Exceptional Children's Services for the New Orleans Public Schools, where she oversees programs that support and advocate for students with disabilities. Her expertise in differentiated instruction, data analysis, and crisis intervention has positioned her as a key advocate for special education reform in her community. Amber plays a pivotal role in the lives of the youth of Greater New Orleans through mentorship, tutoring, outreach, and collection drives through nonprofit organizations and faith-based initiatives, using her knowledge and her voice to promote positive change within the community. A two-time graduate of Nicholls State University, Amber embodies excellence and kernel pride. She has served the university in numerous capacities and organizations as a student, but most recently as a member of the Alumni Federation, where she has served in leadership positions such as President of the College of Education Chapter, Membership Chair of the Board of Directors, and a charter member of the Black Alumni Chapter. Amber continues to support Nicholls, contribute to its programs, and serve actively in college initiatives, demonstrating her commitment to the future of Nicholls State University. Amber is a dedicated member of the Mystic Crew of Femme Fatales and the First District Missionary Baptist Association, participating in charitable initiatives such as book drives, food pantries, and mentorship programs. Her dedication to both education and community service has made a lasting impact on students, families, and fellow educators throughout the New Orleans area. She continues to be a role model, using her leadership, expertise, and compassion to create meaningful change in the field of education. We congratulate Ms. Amber Christina Williams on being named the Distinguished Young Alumni for the year of 2025. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be named Young Alumni of the Year, and I'm grateful to God for the capacity to serve and to achieve. My parents for their sacrifices, their support and spiritual guidance. I love you dearly. And my community for their engagement and a path to succeed. I say thank you to my Nicholls family for this opportunity, and I want to motivate everyone here to continue to do the great work to develop and promote the university. Go Kerns.
There are a few additional people in our audience tonight that we would like to recognize. One of those is Sheriff Craig Weber for Lafourche Parish. Sheriff Weber. There you And we'd also like to recognize and thank you for attending Dr. Sean Wilson, former Secretary of Transportation. Welcome, sir. Our second award tonight is the Corporate Mark of Honor. It should come as no surprise that tonight's Corporate Mark of Honor award goes to Rouse's Supermarkets. Rouse's Markets has been a cornerstone of the Gulf Coast grocery industry for over 6 decades. What began in 1960 as one single store in Houma, Louisiana, founded by Anthony Rouse Sr., has grown into the largest independent grocer in Louisiana. And now, 65 years later, Rouse's has become one of the largest supermarkets across the country. Rouse's Markets is a nationally recognized company and a top USA workplace with more than 7,000 team members serving over 1 million customers each week across Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. The company's success is built on a foundation of very strong family values and a deep commitment to the communities that it serves. Now, in its 3rd generation of leadership, the Rouse family remains dedicated to delivering high-quality products, exceptional service, and a local shopping experience that customers have come to trust. This commitment extends beyond the store shelves and into the heart of the communities where the Rouse's stores operate. The company actively supports local food banks, charities, and events throughout the Gulf Coast region. Education and workforce development are also key pillars in the Rouse's family. The company has been a longtime supporter of various academic initiatives, with a special focus on the Chef John False Culinary Institute at Nicholls State University. To further its investment in culinary education, Rouse's Market has established 2 endowed professorships: the Anthony Rouse Sr. Endowed Scholarship, honoring its founder, and the Leroy Theriot Meat and Charcuterie Culinary Arts Scholarship, named after a beloved longtime Rouse's butcher. And thank you for that. In addition to these scholarships, Rouse's has been a generous sponsor of numerous Culinary Institute fundraising events, helping to nurture the next generation of chefs and food industry professionals. Rouse's Market is also a very proud sponsor of Nicholls State University and its athletic programs, demonstrating its commitment to both education and community spirit. If there is ever a doubt about Rouse's commitment to community spirit, I would invite you to visit store number 59 on South Acadia Road to experience the affectionately referred to Nicholls Rouse's, a Rouse's store dedicated to Nicholls State University and its athletic programs and the academic wonders that occur here. With its unwavering dedication to quality, service, and community involvement, Rouse's Markets continues to set the standard for independent grocery retailers. As the company grows, it remains firmly rooted in the traditions and values that have made it a trusted name for generations. Whether through its commitment to fresh local products or its investment in educational endeavors and community enhancement, Rouse's Markets exemplifies what it means to be a true hometown grocer with a national reputation involved in its community. For these reasons, we are more than proud to honor Rouse's Markets as the 2025 Corporate Mark of Honor. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm Allie Rouse Royster, third generation Rouse family member and grocer, and a proud Nicholls alum. Thank you so much. This is such a great honor. We always love our partnerships with Nicholls. We're Thibodeau proud, just like Nicholls is. I always think of my grandfather at times like these, the most humble and hardworking man anyone has ever met. He would be absolutely amazed at where we are now because he was amazed in the early 2000s that we had 15 stores and we're at 65 now. And coincidentally, we're at 65 years of building on his legacy. It was a small store focused on serving our dear community here on the Bayou, and we're still doing that today, just like our friends and partners here at Nicholls. As a Nicholls MBA alumnus, I have a deep appreciation for all the world-class educational opportunities available right here in our beloved town of Thibodeau. We employ many Nicholls students while they're learning as cashiers and buggy boys and anything throughout our stores, but we also employ a lot of Nicholls alum in our corporate office and our store leadership roles. A lot of people think the grocery industry might be just stacking cans of beans, but there's a lot more to it than that. The opportunity for my children and beyond to learn here at Nicholls at home and then go on to grow our family business is one that I know I'm very blessed to know is a real possibility. And I just look forward to seeing what both Rouse's and Nicholls can grow to become in the years beyond. I think this partnership is really special, and we thank you for your partnership.
Our next award is one of my personal favorites, and that is the honorary alumnus, someone who may not have attended or graduated from Nicholls State University, but who has had a profound impact on the university. Representative Gary Graves is a distinguished public servant known for his impactful contribution to Louisiana's infrastructure, environmental restoration, and legislative reform. He has played a key role in securing funding for critical infrastructure projects, including Louisiana Highway 1 and various hurricane protection systems. Representative Graves' expertise in coastal restoration and disaster recovery became evident when he joined the U.S. Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee. Following the devastation of Hurricanes Katrina and Rita in 2005, he worked alongside Senator David Vitter to secure approximately $150 billion in recovery funding for the state of Louisiana. In 2006, he helped draft and negotiate legislation that redirected offshore energy revenues to Gulf states, securing long-term funding for hurricane protection and coastal restoration. This law has provided Louisiana and its coastal parishes with nearly $160 million in 2024 alone. In 2008, Graves was appointed by Governor Bobby Jindal as Louisiana's first ever cabinet official for coastal affairs, leading to the establishment of the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, which today we know as CPRA. As the state's chief negotiator for the Deepwater Horizon oil spill settlement, he secured the largest financial settlement in U.S. history from a single company. Over his career, Graves integrated 41 funding sources, totaling an estimated $30 billion for Louisiana's coastal protection and restoration efforts. In 2014, he became the representative for Louisiana's 6th Congressional District. In his 10 years of service in this role, Representative Graves was recognized as one of the most effective legislators in Congress. He was known for breaking long-standing bureaucratic deadlocks and securing funding for transformative infrastructure projects. Representative Graves' tenure in Congress is marked by landmark legislation, political and legal accomplishments, And seeing as how he held a congressional office on this campus during his 10-year tenure, it seems only fitting, and we are proud to award him Nicholls State University's honorary alumnus. Senator Graves, Representative Graves.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, good evening. It's great to be here with you. I'm glad there's not a spotlight because I don't look anything like that picture. Photoshop is amazing, as is the AI that wrote the bio. Some of that was even accurate. No, seriously, I want to tell you how much this means to me, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background. Look, I was born and raised in Baton Rouge. And I was aware of Nicholls. I was aware of it. But about 30 years ago, I started working for a guy by the name of Billy Tozan, who was a graduate of Nicholls. And I'll tell you, a huge advocate of the school. And he sent me down here, and I sat down with Dr. Io, and I learned A to Z what Nicholls was. And over the 30 years that I've had the chance to work with Nicholls State University, and some of the amazing people that are on the faculty here, and some of the amazing graduates, and some of the amazing supporters of this institution, I've come to really know Nicholls. And my wife and I, we live 2 miles from LSU. And I can say a lot of things about LSU, but what Nicholls does that no one else can is they can be incredibly nimble, incredibly agile. They can adjust to the needs of the community like nothing I've ever seen before. And a few things that I'll highlight and things we've had the chance to work on over the years. Obviously, you're well aware of the great education school, the great nursing program that Nicholls has. But as was noted, and you're well aware, we have a coastal crisis in our state. And it truly is a crisis because it's taking away our livelihood. It's jeopardizing our future. And if that's not a crisis, then I don't know what is. And Nicholls has led efforts establishing a coastal center, making sure that you can help to identify the solutions that are needed to ensure we have a sustainable footprint of our state, because this is home. And our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren should have the same opportunities we've had to live in an awesome place in South Louisiana. One program that I just really amazed by, because Nicholls recognized that there were members of our community that truly were being left behind. And the Bridge to Independence program, really remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable, this recognizing the need, recognizing, I'll say it again, that there are members right in our own community that were being left behind, but recognizing that that's not an option, that we've got to provide opportunities and pathways for everyone. Our own and one of my favorite coworkers, longtime coworkers, and Thibodeau resident David Cavell went to the culinary school. And I'm gonna make note, he did it when he was working for us, which I'm not sure if you worked 40 hours a week every week, because I don't think they did all the classes at night, but I was a beneficiary because y'all made some amazing food. But look, South Louisiana is known as being this just culinary, just masterpiece. I mean, we are amazing what we do with food. And to be able to exploit that, to capitalize it as Nicholls has done, it's remarkable. And I saw Dr. Strickland here from Fletcher, and I even love the fact that the partnerships are there. And so let me say it again. This truly is a treasure for the state of Louisiana. It's a treasure for the nation. The agility, the nimbleness of Nicholls to make sure that our community has what they need, that our children, our grandchildren, they're going to have the skills, going to have the education that they need based upon the workforce and the occupation of tomorrow. It's remarkable. And Dr. Clune and all of those before you, I want to thank you for your hard work in making this place amazing. Look, I know Harvard got really mad about the Harvard on the Bayou designation, but I want to be clear. This is our ivy on the Bayou. It is, and it truly is a national treasure. And to be recognized by this university that means so much to me and I have so much respect for, it means a ton. And so I just want to say thank you very much and God bless.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite memories of Congressman Graves is it was somewhere between 2016 and the beginning of 2018. He came out to the Nicholls farm, which, yes, Nicholls does have a farm on Highway 1, off of Highway 1. But Congressman Graves came out to the Nicholls farm to work with Dr. Balaji and the biology faculty related to flying drones to map the coastal region in order to track the amount of coast that we were losing over time. And if memory serves me correctly, I do believe that Dr. Balaji gave Congressman Graves the opportunity to bring the drone home, to land the drone. But I just remember him being out there in his crisp white shirt and his jeans and the smile just beaming on his face, enjoying the opportunity to be embedded in something educational. So that was a great memory. Our next award to be given is the Harvey Pelche Award. This is a big one. Marty J. Chabert is a distinguished leader in Louisiana's political, economic, and educational sectors. With a career spanning decades, he has significantly impacted coastal restoration, infrastructure development, and higher education in the state of Louisiana. His extensive public service and dedication to Louisiana's growth make him a key figure in regional progress. A former Louisiana state senator, Marty Chabert secured millions in funding for hurricane protection and barrier island restoration, playing a pivotal role in the development of the Morganza to the Gulf project, now a multi-billion-dollar initiative. He helped fund new nursing facilities, supported the creation of the Chef John Falls Culinary Institute, and contributed to athletic and academic infrastructure projects at Nicholls State University and across the state of Louisiana. As chairman of the Select Committee on Hurricane Protection and Coastal Restoration and a member of the Senate Natural Resources Committee, he secured over $30 million for coastal projects in Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes. Mr. Chabert's contributions to Louisiana's infrastructure extended beyond the Senate. As Assistant Secretary and Director of Public Works for the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, he led efforts to establish critical hurricane protection districts, including the South Terrebonne Hurricane Protection and Conservation District and the North Terrebonne Levee District. As Louisiana's oil spill coordinator, he collaborated with the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, there's CPRA again, to develop compensation schedules for Deepwater Horizon and other oil spill restoration efforts. A dedicated advocate for higher education, Mr. Chabert has served on the University of Louisiana Systems Board, the Louisiana State University Board of Supervisors, and the Louisiana Board of Regents, holding several leadership positions, including being the chairman of the Louisiana Board of Regents for 2 years. His work has helped secure critical funding and resources for Louisiana's higher education institutions, ensuring access to a quality education for the future generations in the state of Louisiana. Marty Chabert's commitment to public service, coastal protection, economic development, and education has left a long-standing impact on Louisiana, making him a very deserving nominee and awardee of the Harvey Pelche Award. Congratulations, Marty Chabert.
Whoa. I don't know why, but every time I get up, I get nervous. I'm looking right here at Miss Charlotte Bollinger, and every time I come on this campus, I think of her father, who helped my father get in the boat business when he had just come out of Nicholls and quit teaching and coaching. And we'll never forget that as long as I live. But every time I pass by the building that says Bollinger, and I'm going to tell a quick, short story. I've been advised that I can't talk very long. But my dad found, my mama, Vonna Chabert, can attest to this. My father had an old crew boat that had a hole on it about as big as this rostrum. And we fixed it up on the bayou side of my grandpa's yard in Chauvin, Louisiana. And he had everything. He had a job lined up with Texaco. Had everything but an engine. So Dad says, come on, son, we're going right to Lockport. The only man that I know that might be able to help me, Mr. Donald Bollinger. And we drove up, and Mr. Donald greeted us. Boise was swimming in the pool, and I'm like, Daddy, they got a pool. I was probably 7 or 8 years old, maybe a little old. The Boise was probably 15 or 16. And we went across the street with your uncles, and he's told them, he said, look, get Leonard one of them 371 GMs. Leonard, can y'all bring the boat over here? He says, yes, we can. And Daddy hauled that boat with a little 9 horsepower V thing that he used to go hunting with all the way the Intercoastal Canal to Lockport. And when we went to pay him, you know, my dad said, Mr. Bollinger, you know, hadn't had it. He said, don't worry about it. Pay me when after you get your first job. So years later, every time we'd ask Mr. Donald, hey, want to pay you for that engine? Oh, next time you see me, next time you see me. Well, I took over my dad's boat business when I was about 17 years old. And the first boat we built was the Narby Nolte, named after my brother Narby. And we had a bad accident for a hurricane, and we had to bring the boat on dry dock. And so we went to Bollinger Shipyard. So we got the boat fixed, had $30,000, $40,000 worth of damage, and me as a guy getting ready to write the check to Boise said that, you know, we'll never forget what your daddy did for my daddy. Never, never, never. And I said, it was so nice of him not to. Boise said, oh, I'm going to attach it to this invoice. And brings us back to the Nicholls thing. When my love for Nicholls started as a young kid, my dad used to bring me to the basketball games over here. And the Jeremy Becker's daddy, Rabbit Barton, Paul Vaccaro, I used to come watch those guys play. Coach Jim Mahoney, never forget it. But Daddy, when he was going to school over here, actually took the book for the basketball game. And another thing I want to mention is this table right here, table right there, the Barker family. Mr. Dickey came to school about the same time as my dad, and he used to tell me stories about how Dad used to wear his GI clothes to come to school. And every time I'd go over to Mr. Dickey's house, we'd always talk about my dad and the love for Nicholls. And so I've had that love for a long, long time. The night that I was made aware that I was getting this award, after I told my family, the first people I called was Mr. Dickey and I sent him a text. And within 2 minutes, I got a phone call back and said, we're plumping down a chunk of change. We're coming with you. And we're bringing everybody. They have been so good. So good, so good, so good to the university. They've always taken care of Dr. Bayou and all his crew. When I came here in 1973, the first person I met, my brother-in-law Neil and I used to drive here in an old Mercury Marquis. And we drive from Chauvin. Well, they made a mistake, and they brought me to the student union. And I was amazed because I had never seen a foosball machine before. And lo and behold, I'm watching these two guys, and they pop, 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 pop. And I look, there was a guy named Lester Beamers, the first guy I met when I came here. I said, how ironic that, you know, first guy I meet over here is getting honored the same night as me. And we've been friends since 1973. Matter of fact, when I first started talking to him, now look, I had a bad accent when I first came to Nicholls. A Cajun accent. And Lester says, you got an accent, where you from? I said, man, I'm from down the bottom. My dad's from Cutoff, my mama's from Chauvin. I said, we just talk like this. I said, I hear you got an accent too. Where you from? Kaplan or Gaydon? He said, Trinidad. I said, okay, I was off a little bit. But in 1973, when we came over here, I tell people all the time, if, you know, when Lester finished his foosball game, he went to class. If I'd have learned that, I'd probably be getting an Alumni of the Year award. The other guy I want to thank is Dr. Donald Bayou. Dr. Bayou took care of me on so many occasions when we were doing stuff that we probably shouldn't have been doing. He and Dr. Wade Leday. Dr. Wade Leday had no kids and treated me like a son. And Dr. Bayou was the one who brought me to him because I got a GED and I hadn't taken ACT. So they arranged for me to take it. And Dr. Leday calls me in his office and he says, man, Marty, you know, they give you a 10 if you spell your name right. I said, well, look, that's one of the hardest tests I ever took. I said, man, I did it in 2 hours. He said, Marty, it's a 4-hour test. You know, that's before ADD and ADD medication and all of that. So anyway, I get to school, and then who's the next person I get to meet? A guy by the name of John Houma. I think he's somewhere here. I called him night before last, and he didn't answer. I called him another night, and he didn't answer. I sent him a text with 2 old pictures. I said, I'm going to get a slideshow with these pictures. He appointed me to the Student Government Association. And you thought I want to fall in love with Nicholls State University? Serve on the Student Government Association with John Houma, Danny Cavell, Danny and Belinda. Belinda was my study partner. My favorite class, my friend Matthew Block here is daddy. I think it's the only class I made a B in. Mr. Gerald Block, I loved his class because he came in the first day and said, my name's Gerald Block, I'm an attorney. I really don't want to be here, but Dr. Galliana needs somebody to teach his class. I'm going to give y'all 2 tests, a midterm and a final. If you do bad on the midterm, don't come back for the final. Well, we were in Peltier Auditorium, and they had like 126 seats. The next day, there were like 40 people there. He said, it worked again. And he and I got to be very good friends. Long before I met Matthew, and my kids and I started a restaurant in Baton Rouge years ago, and we were catering at the governor's mansion. And one night I'm frying deal, I'm getting the jambalaya, we had everything, and the governor pulled me aside. He said, listen, somebody recommended you to be the oil spill coordinator. Would you be interested? I said, man, I got 2 restaurants. Got a catering business. I went home that night. I told my kids, look, I think the governor wants me to go to work for him. I said, we got this restaurant. Daddy, go. We hate the restaurant business. And that's how I got rid of the restaurant business and went to work for Governor John Bell Edwards. And it was one of the best experiences. I've been around the Capitol since 1972. But I got to meet Sean Wilson. I was in 7 war rooms in critical conditions when we had the flood, the shooting, the governor, how many hurricanes we had? Back to back to back to back. And, you know, I wasn't for him. I mean, I was for Scott Angel. His daddy and I served in the deal. So I said, man, I don't know how this deal's going to work out. Well, for the flood, he called the mayor and said, Mayor, we need to put some people in the center. And the guy said, oh, no, we don't with him. And the governor said, oh, yeah, we're going to do it. And I said, that's my man. That's my man. He told Matthew and Tina, who is legal counsels, go find out the law, go see what I can do. But the other thing is that every single time we had something for Nicholls State University, that man came to our rescue. He helped. He never, and look, we had a $700 million hole to fill when we got there. Higher education was cut from a $1.5 billion to $750 million. And I was on the Board of Regents. And I just kept shaking my head because, you know, all in boards I serve on, most people serve on the board, they like to just go to football games. Well, I had a saying. I got Dr. Kim Hunter Reed right here and her husband Henry. But when I tell people I stalked her for a year. She was in Colorado as a commissioner there. I had some businesses in Colorado, and we went all the way around, and I followed every place she went, and I said, boy, if we had a commissioner like this, it would be unbelievable. So we interviewed 10 people, and she got the job. And her and I locked arms together that day, and I said, I'm going to tell you something, and let's not forget it. It's all about the students. It's not about us. And goes back to my love for Nicholls State University. As a matter of fact, I told our board, listen, I'm the new chairman. We're going to have a retreat. Unlike the UL board where you represented Thibodeau, where I was on the UL board, Dr. Ayo and I, we used to do things strictly for Nicholls, and people from McNeese, Carl Shetler would just take care of stuff for McNeese. Well, on the Board of Regents, I told all my members, I said, listen, you can't look at your school. You got to look at the state as a whole. So we're having the first retreat at Nicholls State University. And we did. That's when I got to be friends with Dr. Clune. And Dr. Clune tells the story the first night that he got the job. He was driving back to his house in Florida. And I said, yeah, we talked for 45 minutes. He said, no, Marty, you talked for 45 minutes. I said, well, just listen to me, because the last two presidents didn't listen. Because they said they weren't going to let politics influence Nicholls State University. I said, don't confuse politics with passion. And I had the passion like my daddy had for Nicholls State. I had the passion like my brother Norby had for Nicholls State. And I fought. And I see Coach Rebo, he was one of the guys that I did a lot of passion for, previous administration. When they wanted to hire people from out of state, I said, we got so many good people in the state of Louisiana, why we got to go outside? Nicholls is on an island. All other universities have an interstate. All universities have, big endowments. The people come to Nicholls want to come to Nicholls. Like Henry LaFawn and I when we first started over here, where we had fraternities. I'm going to say one more thing. I got a little note from somebody that said, hey, these are places you just say thank you, don't give big speeches. Sorry. I want y'all to recognize one guy back there, his name's Terry Bro. My daddy told me a long time ago, you got a lot of friends in life, a lot of acquaintances. But you don't have but 3 or 4 that you can count on your fingers to help you no matter what. I'm very fortunate. I got them here tonight. Got several of them here tonight. Terry Brew, Joey Palmazana, Paul Hardy. And this guy sitting over here and the guy sitting over there, Matthew Block and Sean Wilson, and that lady right there, Miss Tina Venetia Corn, who I couldn't pronounce her name for the first 6 months. It was Finish My Corn. But let me tell you what else that table right there did. When me and Kim Hunter Reed walked in the governor's office and Governor, we need help with Pell Grants. I said, we need at least another $1 million in the budget. He said, let's put 2. When we were $750 million in the hole, he said, before we get out of here, we're going to get back to where it was. And when I left the Board of Regents, we were back to $1.5 billion. And this lady right here was commissioned. I tease every time I call. I said, you're the best doggone best commissioner in the nation. And she got that award the second year she represented the Board of Regents in Louisiana. And that. So I want to recognize them people. And this guy named Terry Bro. Terry and I went to school together. And one day we were playing football. We played everything. We played intramural football, intramural basketball. Me, him, Mark Barry, Ronnie Eshley. Well, it's cold and it's raining one September night. The Saints are getting ready to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. We playing the game. Some guy went to hit him in the back. I hit the guy and went back to my apartment and full of mud and all this. And Terry shows up with his date that night and says, come on, we're going to my house. We got a half a keg of beer left. We're going to watch the Steelers and the Saints tonight. I said, man, look, I don't want to go. He says, come on. So his girlfriend says, the date at the time says, hey, I got a friend at the dorm. Would you like to take her? Yeah, okay. So I go to the dorm, and I meet this girl from New Orleans named Elodie Brown. Pull up at the dorm, meet her, we get in the car, we go to Terry's house, and we play in Pedro, not Lafouche. Not Lafouche, Pedro, Terrebonnier deal. So the whole night long, she's peeling peanuts, and we watch Terry Bradshaw's playing the Saints, and I'm pulling for Terry Bradshaw. Well, when we leave that night, I bring her back telling the dorm, and I say, Bill, what's wrong? You don't like me? She said, what? I said, you don't like me? She said, what? I said, all night long, you didn't say 3 words. She said, I did not understand one word you said all night. True story. The next morning, I called my mom. I said, I met the woman I'm going to marry. So the next morning, we went to church and we went down to Chauvin. And when we finished, we, introduced it to my family. And kids, that's how I met your mother. But my real passion goes one more layer. And I went to work for the Department of Public Works at DOT in 1984. We had Noelle, our oldest child. She was 4 or 5 years old. And my wife, who was a nursing student when we got married, and she didn't go back to school. We had a baby. She was getting ready to go to PA school or something. And we had a baby, couldn't go, couldn't afford it. And she called me one day and said, I'm going back to nursing school. Fantastic. What you going to do with Noelle? I'm going to bring her. So you going to bring her? Yeah. So Dr. Ayo, we had that little daycare. So Ellie would drop her off over there. She'd go. But on the nights where she had the long, what they call that when you go to the, I never went to clinicals. That I would actually call Coach Jackson to come pick her up at the daycare and bring him across the street to his house so Miss Barber could watch her. And so all these years, she's been a nurse at Women's Hospital for 39 years, 38 years. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I've been a year off for a while. 40 years at the same job, at the same hospital, and every time I say it's time for you to retire, she says, nope, that's my independence, and that's what I love doing. So I think for Father's Day, we decided, hey, look, let's do something for your mama. When she came to Nicholls, if we would have had a little extra money, it would have been great. So I decided, along with the kids, listen, we're going to do a scholarship called the Elodie Brown Scholarship in conjunction with my Senator brother Norby, that we wanted to give every year to a mother who had children that was attending nursing school. Elodie set forth the credentials, what you need. Got to have a 3.0 average. Come with the child. And the first scholarship we gave last year, Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong, but to a mother with 3 kids, working 2 jobs, and said, that's exactly what we wanted to do. That's exactly what we wanted to do. So Norby says, hey, let's not make this a year-to-year deal. Let's make an endowment out of this thing. So we were going to, every year, have a little something to raise money till we get to that point. Well, my business partners, after 39 years, separated, and when we were getting ready to end, they said, hey, we want to do something for you. I said, look, it said, me and Jim Worth and his wife said, we want to donate $6,000 to the Elodie Brown Scholarship. My partner in the convenience store, Mr. Eric Stathis, donated. My brother Norby, we tried to get it to $10,000. And Jeremy said we did. And another recognition to Eric Stathis, because today he came back with a check that Jeremy tells us brings us over Forgiving Day. And we appreciate that very much. That's why I wanted to recognize Eric, because he's been a great partner, but also forgive. I want to thank my family for being with me all this time and putting up with all of me. and they always have. But more than that, I want to thank Nicholls State University and all the people here tonight that care for this university like I care for this university. Like my man Donald Ray Henry. I got Katara, who was my first speechwriter that she claims I never read, at Board of Regents. They came here tonight, and it's just so special for me. But thank all of you for coming here tonight, and thank you so much, Nicholls, for this award from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it.
I will take a moment to say that there's one thing I noticed during Mr. Chabert's talk, and that is the room was relatively still. No one went to the bar. No one went to the food. And I do believe no one went to the restroom either, which is the true mark of someone who can command an entire room. Our last award of this evening is the James Lynn Powell Award. The James Lynn Powell Award is the highest honor bestowed upon a graduate of Nicholls State University. This award recognizes individuals who inspire excellence, foster pride in the Nicholls community, and serve as role models for future generations of graduates. This year's recipient is Mr. Lester Beamer. Lester's journey from a young immigrant to a community leader exemplifies his dedication, hard work, and deep commitment to giving back to the community. We are recognizing him today for his significant contributions to the local business community and higher education. Mr. Lester Beamer arrived in Thibodaux at the age of 17 and graduated from Terrebonne High School. He pursued higher education at Nicholls State University, earning his degree in an undisclosed year. I'm a nice person. His time at Nicholls not only provided academic growth, but also fostered a lifelong commitment and connection to the institution and the community. Mr. Beamer has made a notable impact in the automotive industry for the past 38 years. He has served as the managing partner of Barker Honda, a role in which he demonstrated exceptional leadership and business acumen. Under his guidance, Barker Honda has flourished, becoming a trusted name in this region. Mr. Beamer's commitment to Nicholls State University extends beyond his student years. He was inducted into the Nicholls State University Hall of Fame, an honor that reflects his enduring support and contributions to the university's athletic programs. His involvement played a pivotal role in the advancement of Nicholls athletics, specifically Nicholls soccer, benefiting countless student athletes. Mr. Beamer is actively engaged in various community organizations, and he has been a member of the Colonel Athletic Association, formerly known as the Colonel Club, for over 40 years, serving on the board of directors, as president, and in collaboration with fellow board members, he has helped to enhance facilities, increase scholarships, and provide additional resources to student athletes as well as the coaches. In recent years, Beamer's enduring connection to Nicholls State University was highlighted during a men's soccer alumni reunion. The reunion, organized by Mr. Beamer and fellow alumni, celebrated that camaraderie and that shared experience of the former players, reinforcing the strong bonds that are made within the Nicholls community. Mr. Beamer was the first men's soccer head coach at Nicholls State University in 1981, and most recently, he stepped up to be the interim women's soccer coach just this last spring, and thank you for that. Lester Beamer's life has been a testament to the profound impact that one individual can have on their community through dedicated service, professional excellence, and unwavering support for education and cultural heritage. There is one thing that I am not certain of. I am not certain, Mr. Bima, whether you were ever declared Mr. Nicholls during your time here at the university. But there is one thing that I do think I can say. Tonight, you are Mr. Nicholls for everything that you have done for this university. So tonight, the university would like to thank Mr. Bima for all that he has done and to recognize him with this most prestigious award, the James Lynn Powell Award. Thank you, Mr. Lester Bima.
Thank you all very much. I'm not giving a scholarship, Marty. No scholarship from me, but I'm not giving scholarships. No, I can think back, 1973, okay? 73. We're in the student union, in the game room, and this guy, Marty's talking to me. I'm talking to Marty. I'm from Trinidad. He's from Chauvin. He has a big accent. I have a big accent. And I asked him, where are you from? Where are you from? And all kind of questions he's asking me. He said, well, how do you get a Thibodeau? I said, how do you think I got here? I swim. I'm a good swimmer, not a soccer player too, but I'm a good swimmer too. No, I'm so humbled to accept this award. You know, I just love this university so much. Nicholls means everything to me, everything. I mean, every day almost. I retired about 3-4 years ago. After breakfast, I get in my golf cart. My wife says bye. I go to Nicholls. I'm at soccer practice, baseball practice, volleyball, every practice. I'm at Nicholls State University every morning. Go back home. I live right here on Belmead. So, but I just love this Thibodeau. I love the community. People are great in this town. The university people are awesome. I think I won the lottery when I moved here to Thibodeau. I really did. This is a great country. Thank you. First of all, secondly, I want to thank my family for being here. My kids are here, my wife, and my kids and their husbands. Thank you all so much. About a couple of special friends here. Bishop Sam, Mr. Dickey, and Mike Barker. Those guys really, really helped me. I started to work as a summer job. Real quick, I'll tell you, it's almost time for the news. I had a summer job selling cars. I came to Nicholls as a coach. I was a teacher at St. Joseph Elementary. My star basketball player, Matthew Block. Didn't know that. And back in those days, we didn't have no spring practice. We didn't have no summer practice, no weight rooms. We just, everybody go home and come back in August, you know? And I just took a job selling cars. I was making $800 a month selling cars back in teacher school at St. Joe. I took a job selling cars, and I didn't want to go. I finally went about 3 hours late. And that month, I sold 17 cars, made $3,600 back in '81. I like I won the lottery again.
Whose demo did he take?
I took the wrong car as a demo. But anyway, long story short. So after 38 years in the car business, my part-time job was selling cars. After 38 years, I decided to retire. So I'm so humbled to accept this award as part of Nicholls State University. But one guy I have to give a lot of credit to, people I have to give credit to, especially my wife, Laverne, who puts up all my stuff all day. I'm never home. I'm on the campus all the time, running around. Thank you, honey, for doing that for me. Tomorrow I'll be at football practice in the morning and soccer too. If you need me, I'll be there. But I want to give one guy all the credit he deserves, as Almighty God, of course, but Mike Barker. Stand up, Mike, please. Please. No.
I'm not going to let you talk next. I'm taking the floor right now. Because my dad and Jeff Lockie love this man like no one else. And I knew of him because he was coaching my brother, and he recruited like a madman.
That's all.
And so he goes and and look, this is Nicholls. This is truly Nicholls. He's got no budget. The man's got to get a whole soccer team with $0. So what's he do? He goes out and recruits foreign guys who are talented, but he needs a couple local guys to get the support locally. So who's he go to? He looks around, looks and goes, I can get that guy, I can get that guy. And he went and got all the right people, left and right. And he did. And he got my mom, and my dad, and he got the buses, and he dragged all the people all over together and things like that. And so Lester did immensely things with nothing. He's always taken the minimal things and done magnificent things with things. Lester, when you talk about who's given what and who did everything, he was a great coach. He gets in the car business and he's lighting it up. He is flaming Thibodeau like Notamar, lighting up everything. He is the superstar Thibodeau. And so Jeff Lockie, who you coached his son, and he was my dad's right-hand man, and Jeff locked on to him and said, Dickie, we got to hire this man. And so he hires him, and they get together, and two things happen. First thing is, when we're interviewing, my dad sits down and Lester meet, and they go, where's Mike? Well, he's late, because I'm always late. And Lester's like, where's this guy? I'm supposed to meet this guy, and I'm late, right? So I show up late, etc. So we hook up, and then his first day of work, he's sick. He can't show up. He goes, dude, I can't show up to work. I go, well, here's your check. He goes, wait, I didn't work. I said, dude, we pay you on time. Get your ass back to work. And this is what happened, right? So, long story short, he's a gift from God. He was an immensely talented man, and I can share this much with you. You guys know him on the Nicholls side, on the business side. I'm going to tell you, every day that man walks into work, every day he walked in, every single individual, he lit their life up. He lifted them up. There's no one that wanted to be more associated to Lester Pima than anyone in our organization. Lester, I love you, I adore you, and thank you for who you've been for us.
Thank you, Mike, thank you. I learned so much from you. Your kindness, so kind and so generous to people, and I enjoy lunches with you and myself and Bishop Sam once a month, twice a month, wherever we go, and but the other pizza, we'd be, wow, if I go to confessions. Anyway, I really, thank you, Mike. I can't say enough about this award. It's so much, it means so much to me. I came here from this country with nothing to America. I never heard of Louisiana in my life. Never heard of the United States. Here in New York. Trinidad's a British colony in the Caribbean. We speak English, but it's a British island. And we discovered oil in the country. And after we discovered oil, where you find oil field workers from? Louisiana, Texas. And they would live next to my house, and that's end up in Louisiana. That's why I end up here. I never heard of Louisiana. Nobody heard of Louisiana in those days. New York. Everybody wants to go to New York. All the 49 states didn't exist. So that's why I end up in Louisiana. Now, it's the best, God's blessed me. I want to lottery again. I mean, this is the greatest place to live. The people are great, lovable, they're kind, they're sweet. I mean, I just love it here. I thank you for having me, accepting me in this community. And everything I would do is for you. I don't want no supplement here. I don't need nothing. I just want to make everybody happy because it's a better place to live and work for the people in this area. And I love Nicholls. I want to say go Curls, and say go Big Red. Go Big Red.
I have a great favorite Lester Bima moment. Mr. Jared David, our director for communications on the campus of Nicholls State University, had recently completed a redesign of the Nicholls State University license plate. And when I tell you it was bomb, it was bomb. It was killer. The license plate looked terrific. So I immediately jumped online and I ordered a new one. And when I got my license plate in, the number was 1001. So I'm like, okay, do I call this the absolute value of double aught? Because I'm kind of a math nerd sometimes. Or do I just go by 1001? I was just happy because for the first time in my life, I would have a license plate number that I could remember. So I actually put it on my truck in the parking lot behind my office. And I needed to go to Houma for something. And as is usually occurring on Louisiana roads, there was road work happening. And so there was gridlock traffic trying to get from Thibodeau to Houma. And I'm stuck in this traffic and I got the windows rolled down. And all of a sudden I hear this noise, this prattle. Hey, 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 and some honking of a horn. And I look over to my left, and it is Mr. Lester Bima, who is transporting a Honda vehicle. And he made sure that he got close up to me, to my window, so he could tell me, man, I love that Nicholls license plate. So if we want to talk about Mr. Nicholls, we're talking about Mr. Nicholls, always on the lookout. So that brings us to our last award of the evening with Mr. Bima. And a couple of more reminders. It is at this time that I would ask you to check to see whether or not you have been outbid. And if you have been outbid, I would encourage you to outbid the person who outbid you. I would also remind you that the flower arrangements are also up for bid on the bid website. If you did bid on an item and you are the winner of said item, you can pick that up at the back table. There will be attendants with volunteer tags on at the table that will help you with checkout and claiming of your item. It is 8:56, which means that the bar and the food is open for an additional 4 minutes. I will not be offended if there is a mass rising in movement in the room. But it is nights like tonight that make me realize that I chose the correct university for my nursing degree. It makes me realize that the night shift when someone walked into my ICU cubicle and said, son, somebody told me that you might be interested in teaching nursing. And I said, well, yeah, one day. And they said, well, we have openings right now. You need to go apply. And so in 1999, I came for what I thought was a conversation with Dr. Sue Westbrook, sitting over here, who was then the department head for nursing. And 2 days later, that same person walked into my cubicle in ICU and said, son, they're looking for your application in HR. Where is it? Said, I didn't fill one out. I just went to talk to them. No, son, they expect you to show up in August to teach. So it lets me know that I made the absolute right decision in 1999 to join the faculty here at Nicholls State University. And it's nights like this that make me reflect on the Scholars Nights that we do every January and February when we are courting our fall new first-time freshman class. And it makes me think about an event that happened just a little earlier in this week, which was the President's Scholarship Dinner, where donors come to campus and meet with the holders of the scholarships that they have sponsored. And I think about the joy in those events, Scholars Night, the President's Scholarship Dinner. But then I see beyond the joy that's involved in those events. And I think about the impact that those scholarships have on a young person's life, a young mother's life, a person who wasn't quite sure whether or not they could achieve a higher education because of their position in life. And that's what lets me know that I made the right choice and we all made the right choice tonight. So with that being said, I thank you so much for being here this evening. I hope you enjoyed this evening, and I cannot express the gratitude that all of us at Nicholls State University, from administration to faculty to staff, have for your presence here tonight. Thank you, safe travels, and have a good evening.
Congratulations to all of those who won their big awards. A great night, especially in Thibodaux at Nicholls State University. I know they're proud of winning those awards. Very well earned over the years. Congratulations, job well done. We'll take a short break on Bayou Time. We'll have more programming here on the station. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.